Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be showing you all swatches of the Back to the 90s Volume 2 collection from Wildflower Lacquer. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Thalia. I am a nail swatcher, and you can find me on Instagram as lacquer_enthusiast33. This collection features 9 polishes, and with this collection, there will also be 2 charity polishes available, as well as a polish that will be brought back as a 2.0 version that originally released in 2020. So this collection will be available May 8th at noon Central Time on the website, and they will be available until May 12th. It is on a pre-order basis, so there is a 3.5 weeks turnaround time for these polishes. Each polish retails for $13, and if you end up buying the full collection, you do have an option to purchase the collection for a discounted price. Alrighty, so first up I have here Wishbone, and it's described as a deep burgundy jelly with subtle blue shimmer. And Taylor was inspired by the TV show Wishbone for this polish. As you can see, just 2 coats with this one, very opaque and great formula. As always, I'm not surprised with Taylor's formulas. They're just fantastic. And this does dry down somewhat dull, so please make sure to add top coat. And as always, no issues with application or removal. And here are my swatches of Wishbone in 2 coats. Next, we have Bubble Beeper, and this is another polish that's a favorite from this collection. It is described as a light orange base with gold to green to blue shifting shimmer, and Taylor was inspired by Bubble Beeper gums from back in the 90s. Definitely very nostalgic. Perfect formula, no issues with application. I only needed 2 coats with this one as well. And like I said before, these do dry down dull, so please make sure to add a glossy top coat. Look at that shimmer in this one. I am a fan of orange polishes. Here are my swatches showing 2 coats. Next is another favorite of mine from this collection. It's called Just Winging It, and it is described as a black tinted base with red to orange to gold shifting shimmer and linear hollow. Taylor was inspired by a hologram jewelry that she owns, and let me tell you, this polish is ridiculously shifty. I enjoyed swatching this one. I even had it on my nails for a few days before continuing with the other polishes I needed to swatch. As always, this one applied beautifully. Formula is great. No issues with application or removal. I only needed 2 coats and definitely glossy top coat. And here are my swatches showing Just Swinging It in 2 coats. Next up, I have, I believe, a fan favorite from this collection. It's definitely unique. It is Frank Me Up, and it is a topper. It's described as a linear hollow base with neon matte glitter and colorful micro matte glitters. Taylor was inspired by Lisa Frank, and who doesn't love Lisa Frank? I owned multiple folders and notebooks that were Lisa Frank's for school. Definitely something that I believe we all looked forward to back in those days. And no issues with application with this polish. I did show it here in just 2 coats because I liked how it looked in 2 coats. But like I said, this is a topper, so you can definitely apply 1 coat over multiple polishes, creams like pastels, or even neons. I think that would look great for summer. And here are my swatches of Frank Me Up in 2 coats. Up next is Talk Furby to Me. And who did not own a Furby back in the day? Let me know in the comments below if you did. I sure did. I had multiple Furbies. My parents thought that I was a fan of them, even though deep inside they creeped me out big time. But this one is described as a medium orchid pink with purple to pink to orange shifting shimmer. and definitely inspired by, you guessed it, Furbies. So this one formula is fantastic. Only needed 2 coats, no issues with application or removal, and definitely add a glossy top coat to give it that juicy look. And this one I believe would also be very pretty with the Frank Me Up topper. And here are my swatches of Talk Furby to Me in 2 coats. Now with this one, like, the formula, the finish on this polish is insane in my opinion. This one is Oodles of Caboodles, and it's described as a purple base packed with hollow flakes. And it's inspired by Caboodles, which I never owned one, but I have read on the Facebook group that many of you did. And this one as well, great formula, only needed 2 coats, no issues with application or removal. Just look at those hollow flakes, how they stand out with that purple base. It is very lovely. Definitely also needs a glossy top coat so that those hollow flakes can definitely shine. And here are my swatches of Oodles of Caboodles in 2 coats. Next, I have It Doesn't Get Any Better Than This. And it is described as a grungy green jelly base with blue to indigo shifting shimmer. And as you can guess it, it is inspired by Eddie Vedder from all the grunge of the 90s. So with this polish, it did show up sheer on that first coat, but it does build up nicely with that second coat. I do recommend for those with longer nails or more of a visible nail line to maybe go in with 3 coats, but I had no issues with 2 coats. And make sure to add a glossy top coat. Here are my swatches of It Doesn't Get Any Better Than This in 2 coats. Up next is Heart of the Ocean, and this beauty is described as a deep navy base with blue shifting shimmer, blue holographic glitter, holographic flakes, and scattered aqua crystal flakes. And this one was inspired by the Heart of the Ocean necklace from the movie Titanic. And definitely opaque on that first coat. I mean, you can probably get away with just 1 coat, but I went in with 2 coats just because I need to do 2 coats. I just can't stay with only one. But definitely no issues with application or removal. And definitely needs a glossy top coat. And here are my swatches of Heart of the Ocean in 2 coats. Last but not least from this collection is Boy Bands, and it's described as a dark periwinkle base with violet undertones and pink to gold shifting shimmer. And it's inspired by definitely those boy bands we all loved back in the day, including Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Those definitely were 2 bands I listened to very, very much. So I loved that Taylor created a polish inspired by them. Another polish that was sheer from this collection, but built it up nicely with 2 coats. And another favorite of mine from this collection. And here are my swatches of Boy Bands in 2 coats. So next up, I will be showing you all the 2 charity polishes that will also be available with this collection tomorrow. And first up is Louie. It is described as a black jelly base with linear hollow flakes, scattered silver sparks, and a very subtle blue shifting shimmer. And this one will be retailing for $13. And $5 of every bottle sold of Louie Ruby will be donated to Forever Yours Oklahoma. No issues with application with this gorgeous polish. Only needed 2 coats. It was very opaque actually on that first coat even. Definitely dries down dull, so make sure to add a glossy top coat. But those sparkles against that black base is so gorgeous. And here are my swatches of Louie in 2 coats. The other surety polish that will be available is Ruby, and it's described as a ruby red jelly base with rose pearl microflakes, scattered red hollow glitter, and a subtle red to orange to gold shifting shimmer. This one will also be retailing for $13. No issues with application or removal. I only needed 2 coats. It was very opaque on that first coat. And this one does also dry down dull, so make sure to add a glossy top coat. I also think this is a great polish for Valentine's or Christmas. Swatches of Ruby in 2 coats. And next, but definitely not the least, is Anthophile 2.0 Lover of Flowers. This is the polish that was originally released in 2020, and Taylor is bringing it back. This is a blue base with pink to gold to green shifting shimmer and scattered hollow sparkle. This one will also be retailing for $13. I want to mention that with this polish, this is easily a 1 coater. It is insanely opaque and intense on that first coat, but I went in with 2 coats as always. Definitely want to add a glossy top coat at the end. A very, very shifty shimmer, and I love this one very much. And here are my swatches of Anthophile 2.0 in 2 coats. Make sure to leave a comment down below if you'll end up picking any polishes from this collection and which ones are your favorites so far. Also, please give a thumbs up to this video if you ended up enjoying it. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't and turn on that notification button so that you can be notified on my future videos.